So if you observe the differences between user exit, customer exits and baddies, so user exits follow subroutines, right? Customer exits uses function modules with a empty include program, right? To add the additional code to enhance the standard program with custom code. So what does the Baddie uses? Baddie uses interface methods. Interface methods, like in when you open the Baddie definition, it contains an interface method, right? So by choosing the suitable interface method, we are going to write our custom functionality, right? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So inside the standard program, this user exits will be, you can find user exits like this. When you find for the user exits in the standard program, it will be like this: user exit and the corresponding user exit name of the user exit. You can find in between the standard programming lines, right? What about the customer exits? The customer exits will be called inside the standard program like this: call customer function and name. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
So baddies will be implemented as interface methods inside the standard program. So when we are going to use user exits, mostly in sales and distribution module. So whenever you create a user exit, it will generate a subroutine. Okay, clear?
Okay, sir.
First time when you are implementing a user exit for the first time, it will expect a access key to create the user exits. Okay, first time it will expect a access key. For the customer exits and baddies, it won't expect any access key, because whenever you are creating a user exit, you are changing the standard program. That's why it is expecting a access key for the first time. Okay, clear? Next time onwards, you can create the customer user exits as usually, but for the first time, it will expect a access key,
Access fee.
right? So whenever you are working on a sales and distribution module, and there is a concept called pricing routines. At that time only, you need to create user exits. Okay, clear?
Sir, access key in the sense of
Access key means to change the standard program, to change the standard logic. It expects a access key, because you are going to change the standard functionality provided by SAP. Okay, so to access that standard code, to change the standard code, so you can use the access key. Without that access key, you cannot change the standard code. Okay, clear?
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
But anyway, you people with years of experience, anyway, they are not going to do any of these activities. Okay, but to create the user exits, access key is necessary for the first time. Customer exits and baddies doesn't require any access key. Okay, what is the another difference?
Customer exit is a single month.
Customer exit contains
Single month.
Implementation.
single implementation.
Body contains multiple implementations.
Baddies can be implemented multiple times. Okay. That checkbox should be enabled. Inside the Baddie definition, there is a checkbox, multi-use checkbox that should be enabled. Then you can implement the Baddie for multiple times. That is a prerequisite, right? When you go to SC18 and open the Baddie definition, there is a checkbox in the Baddie definition in properties. That is multi-use checkbox. That should be enabled for multi-implementation Baddies, right? So what
Yes,
are
sir.
the steps to implement the Baddie? Find the definition, suitable Baddie definition, and open it in SC18, where you need to create the implementation, Baddie implementations. SC19.
SC19.
SC19, you have to create the implementation for the Baddie definition. When you are creating the implementation, you have to find inside the Baddie definition, you will be having multiple interface methods. You have to choose a suitable interface method for your requirement, and you need to implement it. Double click on the Baddie interface method and write the code. That's it. At the time of Baddie implementation, what will happen? When you are implementing the Baddie, what will happen? A class will be generated automatically. A class will be created, right? When you are implementing the Baddie definition, a class will be created. What is the use of this class? This class is to implement the interface method,
Interface.
right? So what does a Baddie contain? Baddie contains interface method. How can you implement the interface methods in general?
By using
By
another
using a class
class.
method, right? By using a class, by adding that interface to a class. So here, since you are using interface methods inside the Baddie, it will automatically generate one class to implement the Baddie interface methods, right?
Yes.
The name can be your choice, or it will generate automatically. Okay, clear? So customer exits are single implementation, and even user exits also single. Like unlike customer exits, like when you talk about customer exit, what are the transaction codes?
SMOD,
SMBody and CMBody.
Yes, in SMOD you can open the customer exit definitions. When you open the customer exit definition in SMOD, what you can find inside a customer exit? Different function modules. When you open a customer exit, you can find different function modules in it, right? Multiple function modules will be available in each customer exit, one or more. You need to choose a suitable function module for your requirement by going through the importing and exporting parameters of that function module. Then go to the include program and write your custom code and activate it. And where you need to activate this customer exit? How can you make the customer exit active? You have to add it to a project. You have to add the customer exit to a project. In which transaction code? In which transaction code? In which transaction code we create the project and add the customer exit to a project? CMOD.
CMBody.
In CMOD, we add customer exit to the project and activate the project. As long as the project is active, your customer exit logic is also active, right? Clear?
Yes, sir.
If you disable the project, what will happen? If you deactivate the project, what will happen? Your custom logic is not going to be executed along with the standard logic. Only standard logic will be executed. Okay? Right? If you deactivate the project, customer exit project, all your custom logic will be deactivated. Okay? So, as long as your project is active, all your custom code is also execute along with the standard code, standard transaction, right? Clear? Is it clear for everyone?
Okay, sir.
But how many times? For example, we can create a project, right, in CMOD. For example, there is a customer exit implemented and added to one project A, project A. Can I add the same customer exit to project B? So I implement, for example, there is a transaction code VA01. For this VA01 transaction code, I implemented one customer exit for some additional logic. And I've created a project A and added the customer exit to the project A and activated the project in CMOD. Can I add same customer exit to a different project, that is project B? Is it possible? It is not
No, sir.
possible. You can add customer exit to a only single project. It won't allow you to add same customer exit to a different project, right? Because there
Yes,
is
sir.
only single implementation possible. Multiple implementations are not possible. Okay, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you go to Baddies, when you created the implementation, as long as the project customer Baddie implementation is active, then only your custom code will be executed along with the standard logic. For example, if I deactivate the implementation, what will happen? If I go to SC19 and deactivated the implementation, what will happen? Your custom functionality is not going to be executed along with your standard functionality, right? Is everyone clear on this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, right? That is the main difference. So if you observe here, customer exit follows procedural oriented programming language. We'll maintain the differences here in this Excel.
Object oriented.
Okay. Object oriented programming, function modules, interface methods. Customer exits follows single implementation. Baddies follows multiple implementation. What are the other differences? What are the other differences? Finding customer exit. How to find a customer exit? You can use this such term call customer function in the standard program. That is the one way. Other way is find package name of the standard T code and search in smod using the package name. Okay, clear? How to find a customer exit? Find the package name of the standard transaction code and use that package name in smod to search all available customer exits. It will show all available customer exits for that package. And also there we can find the documentation about each customer exit. Okay, by going through the documentation we can understand the purpose of that particular customer exit. There will be multiple customer exits for each package, but how can you choose a suitable customer exit? By going through the documentation of the each customer exit and also the function modules inside that customer exit. You have to open the function module and check importing and exporting parameters, whether those importing parameters and exporting parameters are suitable for your requirement or not. Okay, you can find customer exits in smod. What is the input to find the customer exits? What is the input to find the customer exit? Package name, right? By using package name, you can find all the available customer exits. What about Baddie? How to find Baddie definitions? There are multiple ways. The first preferable approach is using CL exit handler class. We can find Baddie definitions using CL exit handler class. In CL exit handler class, we have a method, that is get instance method. So we have to keep a breakpoint inside that get instance method, right? And then we need to execute the standard transaction code. Whatever the, for example, you are trying to find a Baddie for MM01 transaction. What you need to do? First, you need to go to class CL exit handler in SC24 and open the class and set a breakpoint in which method? Get instance method. Get instance method. Then what you need to do? Go back to MM01 and execute the transaction code. For each step, for each navigation, the CL exit handler, we kept a breakpoint, right? It will return Baddie definitions for each navigation. Okay. For example, what are the Baddie definitions available before saving the record? What is the Baddie definition before opening the pop-up screen? What are the Baddie definitions available before clicking on a back button? So you can find Baddies available for each navigation. A specific Baddie definition available for each action in the exit handler class. Okay, clear? What is the other way? So using CL exit handler class is the one preferable approach. What is the other way? So find the package name of the, for example, what is the package name for MM01? ME, I think. ME, right? So use this package name in SC80. Go to SC80, select package name and enter the package name. What it will do? It will display so inside that package there are many folders, right? Programs, class methods, data dictionary objects, function modules, etc. Like that, you will be having one folder like enhancements. In that enhancements folder, you can find Baddie definitions, Baddie implementations. Okay, that is the other way. Okay, clear? The other way, the third way is go to SC18 and try to use, for example, like this. Some search keywords. Go to SC18 and use some search keywords to find the Baddie definitions. Okay, clear? But what is the most preferable approach to find a suitable Baddie for your requirement? What is it?
CL underscore exit
Yeah,
handler.
using CL exit handler class. Keep a breakpoint in CL exit handler method. The method name is get instance and execute the standard transaction code. So it will trigger the debugger and the get instance method returns suitable Baddie for that action. Okay. So when you click on continue button, so it will trigger the all Baddie definitions. What are all the Baddie definitions available for that continue action? Okay, clear? Is it clear for everyone? Is it clear for everyone? So these are all the most important differences. So customer exits follows, or I'll keep both in the same tab. Procedural programming, and it contains function modules, and it follows object oriented programming, and it contains interface methods. Okay, clear? So what is your preferable enhancement type? Is it Baddie or customer exit?
Baddie.
This is priority 1. Customer exit is
Second priority.
when there is no suitable Baddie available, then we go for customer exit. Okay, clear? For example, for a specific requirement, you cannot find a suitable Baddie or a customer exit. What you have to do?
Enhance if any enhancement framework is
Yeah, you have to go to enhancement framework. Enhancement framework contains implicit enhancements and explicit enhancements. Okay. So when you don't have a suitable customer exit and Baddie, then we choose enhancement framework. Okay. There are certain advantages and disadvantages of using enhancement framework. We'll discuss that later. Okay. But what are the different options available in enhancement framework? Implicit
implicit and
and
explicit
explicit
enhancements.
enhancements. Okay. So these implicit enhancements, right, will give you some basic introduction about implicit enhancements. Implicit enhancements, nothing but some SAP has provided some space or some specific location to create your own code without using customer exits or baddies. Okay, SAP has provided that option. So how these implicit enhancements will look like? For example, this is a program. report some Z test program. So in this program, where you can find that implicit enhancement option at the end here, like this. At the end, SAP has provided implicit enhancement option. Okay, right click on it and you can create the implementation. Implementation is nothing but you can create your own logic inside that implicit enhancement. Okay, now this logic will also execute along with your standard program. Where you can find the implicit enhancement options, where you can find it, where you can find implicit enhancement options in a program, you can find at the end like this with some dotted lines. You can right click on that dotted lines and create your own implementation. For example, it is a function module. Function module definition will be like this, right? Function and end function. In between this, you will be having the source code. So now, where you can find the implicit enhancement options in a function module, you can find at the beginning and you can find at the end. You can create an implicit enhancement option at the beginning of the function module or at the end of the function module. In between, standard code. Okay. So the server is not working. Otherwise, I would have shown you how these implicit enhancement options will be available. Is it clear for everyone? Inside the function module, how can you find implicit enhancement options? At the beginning of the function module or at the end of the function module. If it is a program,
At the bottom of
at the end. Okay, at the end of the function module, you can write your own code. Okay, for example, if it is a subroutine, form
end form.
and end form, right? Subroutine also same like this. Beginning of the subroutine and end of the subroutine. In between, you will be having your standard logic. Okay. So you can create your own implementations. Right click on it and create your own implementation. Okay. That is about implicit enhancements. Okay. But sometimes at the time of upgrades, at the time of software upgrades or at the time of migrations, these implicit enhancements might be inactive. Okay. You need to activate it again. After the system upgrade, you need to activate this implicit enhancements again. But there is no such dependency for customer exits and baddies. Okay. So there is no effect on system upgrades for customer exits and baddies. But there is a dependency for implicit enhancements on the system upgrades. You need to activate it again. This become inactive after system upgrades. We have to activate this again. Okay. So that's why whenever there is a customer exit or baddie provided by SAP and it is available, we have to go by the available customer exit and baddie. Implement that customer exit and baddie. Okay. When both are not available, then search for the implicit enhancement options. Go to your standard program, open your standard program, find your logic where you need to implement. And if it is a subroutine, you can find it like this. If it is a function module, you can find it like this. If it is a program, you can find it at the end and right click on it and create your own implementation. Okay, clear? Is everyone clear on this? So we have another concept called explicit enhancements. So explicit enhancements, for example, even if we have implicit enhancement at the starting and ending, sometimes that may not be suitable for our requirement. By using explicit enhancements, by using enhancements parts, we can create our own implementation at our specified standard code. Here it is available only at the beginning and ending, right?
Yes, sir. In
But if
implicit.
you use explicit enhancement options, enhancements parts, you can create. So we have a concept called enhancements part. You can create that enhancements part at the specified area in the standard code. Okay? You can create by your choice. You can create the enhancements part and you can write your own code. For example, in standard programs, sometimes we'll get some error messages or there will be some validation inside that standard program which is not required for me, which is not required for my customer. I need to disable that standard validation provided by SAP. How can you do that? For that we can use explicit enhancement option, that is enhancement section. We have a concept called enhancement section. By using this we can disable that standard logic and replace with our custom logic. Okay, by using enhancement section is part of explicit enhancements. By using enhancement section, I can replace a standard logic with my custom logic. Now when you implemented the enhancement section, the standard logic will be disabled. It's not going to be executed, and in place of that your custom logic will be executed. Okay, clear? Is everyone clear on that? So what is the option available to disable any standard code or standard validations or standard logic?
Enhancement section.
Yeah, you can use enhancement section. It will disable the standard logic and replace with the custom logic. Okay, clear? So these are the important differences. It's a very important topic or question. You definitely will get this question. Okay, someone will ask you this question in any interview. Okay, and you need to explain whatever the points we discussed till now. Clear? Okay, where you need to write logic in baddies.
Class.
Interface methods. Okay, okay, right, clear? Two, for example, you implemented a customer exit and transported it to test system, and testing is completed, and what is the next system you have to transport?
Production system.
Production system, and you transported it to, no, not you, but your
Basis
your
change.
change transport it after all the approvals, you transported it to production system and it is in live. Now the business is able to use that additional logic, but after some time they realized that that logic is not required for them. It is not at all useful for them. They ask you to remove or disable that logic. How can you disable that customer exit logic? How to disable that customer exit logic? Simply deactivate that customer exit in CMOD. When you go to CMOD, what you can find? You can find project, right? So open the project. Inside the project, you have already added the customer exit, right? Just disable that customer exit implementation. So your customer exit is not going to be executed along with your standard logic. Okay? How about the Baddie? How about the Baddie? To disable the Baddie implementation.
SC9, 19.
What we need to do? Deactivate the SC19, right? Simply deactivate the implementation in SC19. Your standard logic alone will execute. Your custom implementation will not be execute along with the standard logic. Okay?
Okay,
Clear?
sir.
Or
Yes, sir.
you can simply delete it, but it will take time, right, to delete it and doing things. Also, please remember, in recent times, whenever you implement a standard, uh, whenever you implement any enhancement for the standard logic, what they are using? They are using a switch framework. Switch framework. That means they'll maintain all these Baddie or customer exits in one custom table, and they use one flag field. They use one flag field, that is X field. That means whenever they are calling this Baddie implementation, right? Whenever they are calling this Baddie implement inside the Baddie implementation, they'll check, for example, Baddie underscore material underscore save. This is the Baddie. Inside the Baddie, what they are doing? They are selecting the table. They are selecting the table entries where entry equal to Baddie material save. If it is X, if it is contain X, and we'll execute the implementation. Otherwise, we are not going to execute the implementation. So simply we can maintain that switch inside a table, a master table. Simply we create a master table and we maintain all the Baddies, different Baddies or customer exits we implemented, right? And we maintain X value for all the active implementations. For whatever the implementations we need to execute. For example, in future, if you want to disable the any of the customer implementation, what we need to do? Do we need to go to SC80, SC19 or CMOD to deactivate it? We simply go to the table and we remove that X, right? Now the corresponding Baddie implementation will not work along with your standard logic. Okay? It is very simple. Go to the table and maintain X if you want to activate the Baddie implementation or customer exit implementation. Now that particular implementation will be executed along with the standard implementation. Clear? So in most of the projects, they are using this switch framework. They are going to maintain all the implementations inside the custom table and using a flag to activate it or deactivate it. So inside the implementation, we use a if condition. If flag equal to X, execute the logic. Otherwise, don't execute. Clear? Is everyone clear on this? So this is the overview. So the system is not working. Otherwise, I would have shown you the implementations. But these are very important to understand. So I'm repeating again. Not everyone is going to get an opportunity to implement enhancements. Okay? It depends on the project. It depends on the requirement. You may get a requirement to enhance a customer exit maybe after 10 years, maybe after 15 years, not sure, or few of you may get this opportunity for the first time in the first project itself. Okay, that's why just understand the concept, right? How to find customer exits and how to find baddies, and when we go for implicit enhancements and when we go for explicit enhancements. Just understand the concept. Don't spend too much time on it. Okay, because what is the code that you are going to write inside this? Customer exits or baddies or implicit enhancements or enhancement sections. What is the code you are going to write? Is it normal ABAP or is it any different programming language? Normal ABAP only. So first make yourself perfect in writing basic ABAP syntaxes. Okay, because you are going to use same syntaxes anywhere. That might be a function module, BAPI, customer exit, Baddie, implicit, whatever it is, you are going to write ABAP statements only. Okay? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So you should have knowledge on each section, like what is customer exit and what is user exit and what is Baddie, so that when you get a requirement, you can easily identify what is the approach that you have to follow and how to make use of importing parameters and exporting parameters to implement the Baddie or a customer exit. So simple. So when you get a requirement on customer exit, what is the prerequisite you should have? How to work with a function module, right?
Yes, sir.
Because we are going to write that customer logic in function module in customer exit. When you get a requirement on Baddie, what is the knowledge you should have? How to work with class methods, right? Do you have that knowledge or not? How to create a class and how to implement a method?
Yes, sir.
You have it, right?
Yes, sir.
Simple, that's it. Implicit enhancement, just right click on it. It will show this dotted line at the end or beginning. Just right click on it, create the implementation and write your own logic and activate it. That's it. Here also you are going to write your normal ABAP only. Okay? Clear?
Okay, sir.
So the very important point is, don't use commit work. When you are implementing a customer exit or Baddie, we have a commit work statement, right? What is the use of commit work statement? It commits the database changes, right?
Yes, sir.
It completes the logical unit of work. We have a concept called logical unit of work. Logical unit of work means all the database transactions happened till now. That is one logical unit of work. Okay? So inside, for example, when you are creating a MM01 record, there might be multiple database transactions involved in it. You are going to create records in MM01, MARC, MAKT, multiple tables, right? when you are create a record in MM01, when you use commit work, even before completing the process, it will create records in it unnecessarily. Okay, when the commit work should happen, when you are working on the standard transaction codes, when the commit work should execute after completing all the screens, after completing all the validations, right? At the end, the commit work should execute and create the data in all the relevant tables, right? But if you implement in the customer exit and baddies, so the that logical unit of work will be executed immediately, even without completing all the screen processing. Okay, for that reason, don't use commit work statements inside the enhancements. Customer exits are baddies. Okay, clear? So you can implement, what are the different objects you can implement? What are the different objects you can enhance with custom logic? You can enhance standard programs, standard function modules, standard class methods, right? You can add your custom logic.
Okay.
If it is a standard, if it is a standard program, you can, SAP has already provided customer exits and baddies, right? For few function modules also, SAP has provided customer exits to add the additional functionality, right? If there is no such option available to enhance the standard programs, function modules or class methods, what can we do? So similarly, I forgot to tell you, method and end method. Implicit enhancement options are also available for method and end method. End method. Okay, here also available. You can implement, you can enhance the standard methods, programs, function modules using implicit enhancement option also, if customer exits and baddies are available. For class methods, we have a separate concept to enhance. Even we can use the implicit enhancement at the beginning and at the end. We have an implicit enhancement option for class methods also. Along with this, we have a separate concept called pre-exit, post-exit, overwrite exit. What is the use of this? These three options are used to enhance the methods, standard methods. Okay. So someone will ask you the question like, how can you enhance a standard class? How can you enhance a standard class method? What are the options available? First option is implicit enhancement option to enhance the standard class methods. First option is implicit enhancement option. What is the another option we have? Using pre-exit, post-exit and overwrite exit. Okay. For each method, these three options will be available. Okay. Pre-exit means before the method logic. Before the method logic, you can write your own code. Post-exit means after the method standard logic. Overwrite exit means it will completely overwrite your standard method logic. Okay. I'll show you when we open the server. But you should remember about whenever someone asks you about the class enhancements. What are the options available? Implicit
enhancement
and pre-exit, post-exit and overwrite exit. Okay. Clear? Is everyone clear on this?
Yes.
Even but we are discussing about pre-exit, post-exit, overwrite exit, right? Here also we are not going to write any new programming language. We are going to write only normal ABAP statements only as per the requirement. Okay. So what is the expectations? But as ABAP consultants, what are the expectations from you? Whenever there is a requirement, whenever your functional team provided you a requirement, you should be able to analyze it. You should be able to analyze it, and you should be able to find the better suitable approach to implement that custom enhancement. Okay? Most of the times, right? If it is a standard transaction code enhancement, for example, your functional consultants want you to enhance a MM01 transaction. Most of the times they will provide you the suitable customer exit or Baddie provided by SAP. Most of the times they mention that in the functional specification document. What you need to do? Simply use that customer exits or Baddie and create the implementation. You don't need to find it. Okay? Functional consultants itself provide customer exits and Baddie available for that requirement. Sometimes they may not be able to find a suitable customer exits and Baddie for that. You need to find it by using CL exit handler or by using call customer function option or by searching in SMOD using package name, right? By using different approaches, you have to find available customer exits and baddies for that requirement. But most of the times, if it is a standard transaction code enhancements, your functional team will provide available customer exit or baddie for that requirement. Okay. When there are no such options available, you have to choose one of this option like implicit enhancement or explicit enhancement. Clear? Is it clear for everyone? So can you enhance a standard function module? For example, we are calling many standard function modules, right? For example, like GUI underscore ALV underscore grid display. These are all standard function modules. For example, GUI file upload. Can you enhance a standard function module with the custom logic? Say yes or no. Can you do it or not?
Yes, sir.
How can you do that? By using what
Eh,
approach? By using implicit.
And
You can use implicit enhancements, right? To write the additional logic in the standard function modules, right? You can find implicit enhancements at the starting of the function module and ending of the function module. Clear? Can you change importing and exporting parameters of a standard function module? So we have an option called enhance option. When you go to the menu options of a standard function module, you can find an option that is enhance. By using that enhance option, you can add your own parameters to the function module interface. Okay?
okay, sir.
Okay. These are all the important points about enhancements.